I remember standing there, hands trembling, heart pounding against my chest. The presentation that could change everything was just minutes away, and that familiar voice of doubt was screaming in my head, "You are not good enough. You are going to fail." In that moment, I had two choices. Listen to that voice of weakness or stand up and fight back. You are here today because you heard that same voice. Maybe it whispers when you are about to ask for that promotion. Maybe it shouts when you are thinking about starting that business. Maybe it haunts you every morning when you look in the mirror and think about those goals you have put off for years. That voice of weakness has stolen more dreams, crushed more potential, and destroyed more possibilities than any external obstacle ever could. It's cost people their relationships, their careers, their health, and their happiness. And the most dangerous part, we often think it's protecting us, keeping us safe in our comfort zone, when it's actually keeping us trapped in a prison of our own making. But here's what changed everything for me that day, and what will change everything for you right now. Weakness is not a wall. It's a warning. It's not a stop sign. It's a signal. Every time you feel that urge to back down, to play small, to give up, that's not a sign that you are not capable. It's a sign pointing directly at what you need to conquer next. The most successful people in history weren't born without weaknesses. They simply refused to let their weaknesses win. They turned their moments of doubt into decisions of action. They transformed their fears into fuel. And that's exactly what you're going to learn to do starting right now. Your weakness is waiting for you to back down. It's expecting you to run away. But today, right here, you are going to learn exactly how to stand your ground and fight back. Because the battle against weakness is not won in one dramatic moment. It's won in the small choices we make every single day. When was the last time something outside of you truly stopped you from achieving what you wanted? Sure, you might say it was lack of money or time or support, but dig deeper and you will find the real barrier. It was the moment you decided these external factors were too big to overcome. There are two types of weakness that will try to derail your journey to success. The first kind comes from outside, the obstacles, the setbacks, the circumstances that life throws at you. But these external weaknesses, they're nothing compared to the second type, the internal weakness that lives in your mind, that feeds on your doubts, that grows stronger every time you give in to it. I have worked with thousands of people over the years, and I have seen this internal weakness show up in countless ways. It masquerades as being realistic when you are setting goals. It disguises itself as being careful when you are making decisions. It pretends to be common sense when it's telling you to stay in your comfort zone. And every single time you listen to these voices, every time you let these internal weaknesses guide your decisions, you are paying a price that's far higher than you realize. Want to know the real cost of giving in to weakness? It's not just the immediate opportunity you miss. It's all the future opportunities that would have stemmed from taking that one bold action. It's the confidence you never build. It's the skills you never develop. It's the networks you never create. It's the person you never become. I once worked with a client who spent 20 years, telling himself he wasn't ready to start his own business. He had the skills, he had the experience, he had the market knowledge, but every morning he'd wake up and find a new reason why today wasn't the right day. That's 2 decades of potential income lost. That's 20 years of possible growth sacrificed. That's a lifetime of impact never made, all because he let his internal weakness make his decisions for him. What makes this battle against weakness so tricky? It's not always obvious when we are giving into it. Sometimes it wears a mask of wisdom. Sometimes it pretends to be patience. Sometimes it even disguises itself as humility. I am just being humble. You tell yourself as you decline an opportunity to lead, I am just being patient. You say, as you put off starting that fitness program for another month, I'm just being wise. You convince yourself as you stay in that comfortable but unfulfilling job. These rationalizations feel good in the moment. They feel safe. They feel responsible. But they are just weakness wearing a sophisticated costume. And every time you buy into these disguises, every time you let weakness dictate your choices, you are not just losing a battle. You are programming yourself to lose the war. The good news, once you understand the true nature of weakness, once you can spot its disguises and recognize its patterns, you can begin to turn the tables, because understanding your enemy is the first step to defeating it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. The incredible potential that exists within you, waiting to be unleashed the moment you decide to stop letting weakness win. How weakness tries to hold you back. It's time to grasp something that will change your life forever, the staggering truth about your potential as a human being. The latest research in neuroscience has revealed something extraordinary. Your brain has roughly 86 billion neurons capable of making more connections than there are stars in the known universe. Think about that for a moment. The power sitting between your ears right now is more complex than anything we've ever discovered in space. Your brain continues forming new neural pathways throughout your entire life. Scientists used to believe that after a certain age, your brain became fixed, unchangeable. Now we know that's completely false. Every single day, your brain is literally rewiring itself based on your thoughts, your actions, and your beliefs. Every time you push past what you thought was your limit, you're not just achieving a goal. You are physically redesigning your brain's architecture. I remember meeting a woman in her mid-50s who believed she was too old to start a new career in technology. She had convinced herself that her brain couldn't learn complex programming concepts anymore. But she decided to test that belief. Just 6 months later, she had not only learned coding, but had created an app that solved a problem in her community. Her app now helps thousands of people every day. She didn't have any special advantages. She simply refused to let her limiting beliefs define her potential. Or take the story of a young man I worked with who grew up being told he had a learning disability. Everyone around him had set the bar low, expecting him to struggle through life. But one day, he discovered something revolutionary. What others called his disability was actually his brain processing information differently. He didn't need to overcome his unique way of thinking. He needed to harness it. Today, he runs a multi-million-dollar company precisely because he thinks differently from everyone else. These aren't just inspiring stories. They are evidence of what scientists now call neuroplasticity in action. Every time you face a challenge and push through it, you are not just building confidence. You are creating new neural pathways that make you stronger, smarter, and more capable. Your brain is literally becoming more powerful through the very act of challenging yourself. This incredible potential is not reserved for a select few. It's not about having special genes or extraordinary talent. It's about understanding one fundamental truth. Your potential is not fixed. It's not even measurable because it's constantly expanding based on your decisions and actions. A time when you achieved something you initially thought was impossible. Maybe it was running that first mile, closing that big deal, or finally standing up to speak in public. Remember how, after you did it once, it suddenly seemed less impossible? That wasn't just psychological. You literally rewired your brain's understanding of what's possible. The human brain operates on a simple but powerful principle. Whatever you consistently focus on expands. When you constantly think about your limitations, your brain finds evidence to support those limitations. But when you focus on your potential, on what's possible, your brain begins to notice opportunities you were blind to before. This is not positive thinking. This is hard science. Studies have shown that the simple act of believing in your ability to improve actually triggers changes in your brain that make improvement more likely. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy backed by neuroscience. And this brings us to the most crucial point about human potential. It's not about what you can do right now. It's about what you become capable of when you consistently push beyond your comfort zone, when you refuse to let temporary limitations define your permanent capabilities. Because the truth is, your current abilities are not your potential. They're just your starting point. The real question is not what you can do today, it's what you will be capable of tomorrow if you refuse to let weakness hold you back. Understanding your incredible potential is just the beginning. Now it's time to forge that potential into unstoppable mental strength. I have spent decades studying the most successful people across every field imaginable, and I've discovered that mental strength is not something you were born with. It's something you build deliberately and systematically through 7 fundamental pillars. The first pillar is self-discipline, and it's the foundation everything else stands on. Think of self-discipline as a muscle. It grows stronger every single time you use it. Every morning when you get up early to work out, every time you choose to work on your goals instead of watching TV, every moment you push through discomfort instead of quitting, you are not just accomplishing a task, you are strengthening your self-discipline muscle. The most successful people I have ever met aren't necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who've developed an unshakable self-discipline. The second pillar is goal clarity. And this is where most people go wrong. They have vague wishes instead of crystal clear goals. Your mind is like a heat-seeking missile. It needs a precise target to hit. When you set a clear, specific goal, your subconscious mind starts working 24 hours a day to achieve it. I have seen people transform their lives in months simply by getting absolutely clear about what they want. Write your goals down. Read them every morning and every night. Make them so clear that a 5-year-old could understand exactly what you are aiming for. The third pillar is positive self-talk, and this is where the battle against weakness is won or lost. The average person has about 50,000 thoughts per day, and for most people, 80 of those thoughts are negative. You must become the guardian of your mental environment. Every time you catch yourself saying, I can't, immediately replace it with how can I? Every time you think this is too hard, replace it with this is making me stronger. Your internal dialogue shapes your external reality. Visualization is the fourth pillar, and it's one of the most powerful tools you have. Olympic athletes use it. Top entrepreneurs use it. Military special forces use it. When you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, your brain starts creating neural pathways as if you are actually performing the action. I have seen people double their sales performance simply by spending 10 minutes each morning visualizing successful client meetings in vivid detail. The fifth pillar is accountability, and this is what turns dreams into reality. Find someone who believes in your potential but won't accept your excuses. Share your goals with them, report your progress regularly. When you know someone is watching, waiting for your success, you will push harder than ever before. I have seen people achieve in 3 months with accountability what they couldn't achieve in 3 years on their own. Physical wellness is the sixth pillar, and it's non-negotiable. Your mental strength is directly tied to your physical condition. Every time you exercise, you are not just building your body, you are building your brain's capacity to handle stress, solve problems, and maintain focus. Every healthy meal you eat, every good night's sleep you get, is an investment in your mental strength. I have watched people transform their businesses simply by transforming their physical health first. The seventh and final pillar is daily habits, and this is where everything comes together. Mental strength is not built in moments of inspiration. It's built in moments of consistency. Create morning and evening routines that reinforce your goals. Set up your environment to make success automatic. Small actions, repeated consistently, create unstoppable momentum. I worked with a person who went from bankruptcy to millionaire in 5 years, not through any dramatic action, but through small positive habits performed day after day. These 7 pillars work together, supporting and strengthening each other. When you are practicing self-discipline, you are also building better habits. When you are maintaining physical wellness, you are making positive self-talk easier. When you are crystal clear about your goals, visualization becomes more powerful. These pillars aren't just techniques, they are transformational tools. Every time you practice them, you are not just working toward your goals. You are literally rewiring your brain for success. You are building neural pathways that make mental strength your default state. I have seen these pillars transform people's lives time and time again. A single mother who used visualization and positive self-talk to build a 7-figure business. A man in his 60s who used physical wellness and daily habits to start a new career. A young entrepreneur who used goal clarity and accountability to triple his company's growth in 1 year. The power of these pillars lies in their simplicity and their synergy. You don't need to master them all at once. Start with one, build it strong, then add another. Each pillar you strengthen makes the others easier to build. Before long, you will have created an unshakable foundation of mental strength that no weakness can penetrate. Mental strength is not about never feeling weak. It's about continuing to move forward even when you do feel weak. These 7 pillars give you the framework to do exactly that. And when you combine them with the unlimited potential we talked about earlier, you become unstoppable. Now that you have understood the 7 pillars of mental strength, it's time to face what's really holding you back, your fears. I am going to share something powerful with you right now. Every fear you have, every single one, falls into 2 categories: fears that protect you and fears that paralyze you. The key to unstoppable success is knowing the difference and having a precise system to eliminate the fears that keep you trapped. Here's a technique I have used with thousands of people. Take out a piece of paper right now. Write down your biggest fear. Maybe it's public speaking. Maybe it's starting your own business. Maybe it's putting yourself out there in relationships. Now ask yourself 3 questions. What's the absolute worst that could happen? What's the most likely thing that would happen? What's the best that could happen? When you do this exercise, honestly, something remarkable happens. You suddenly realize that the worst case scenario, the thing that's been terrifying you, is not actually that terrible. I worked with a successful executive who was paralyzed by the fear of leaving her corporate job to start her own company. When we analyzed her fear, she realized that the absolute worst case wasn't ending up homeless. It was having to go back to corporate work, the very thing she was already doing. That realization freed her to take action. This leads us to the three-step fear elimination process that has transformed countless lives. Step one, face it, look your fear directly in the eye. Name it, write it down. Stop letting it hide in the shadows of your mind where it seems bigger than it really is. Step two, frame it. Put your fear in perspective. Compare it to all the other challenges you have already overcome in your life. Remember, you have survived 100 of your worst days so far. Step three, focus through it. Take one small action right now that moves you toward your goal despite the fear. I remember working with a man who had a paralyzing fear of public speaking. His hands would shake just thinking about standing in front of an audience. We applied these 3 steps. He faced his fear by admitting it was controlling his career. He framed it by realizing that even if he messed up completely, people would forget about it within days. Then he focused through it by practicing his speech in front of 1 person, then 3 people, then 10. Today, he speaks to audiences of thousands. Or take Amelia, a single mother who was terrified of starting her own business because she feared she couldn't provide for her children if she failed. Through the fear analysis technique, she realized she had marketable skills she could fall back on. She had savings. She had a support network. The fear was real, but the consequences weren't as devastating as her mind had made them seem. Today, her business supports not just her family, but provides jobs for 20 other people. Your fears feel unique to you, but they follow universal patterns. Every successful person you admire has felt the same fears you are feeling right now. The only difference is they developed a system to push through them. They turned their fears from walls into stepping stones. When you understand that fear is just energy, energy you can redirect, reshape, and use to fuel your success, everything changes. Fear and excitement create the same physical responses in your body. The only difference is how you interpret them. From this moment forward, when you feel that surge of energy before a challenge, you are going to recognize it for what it really is. Not a warning to stop, but a signal that you are about to grow. Once you have learned to master your fears, you discover a profound truth. Your life is shaped not by the big, dramatic moments, but by the small decisions you make every single day. I am going to tell you something that might shock you. The decision you make in the next 5 minutes is just as important as the decisions you will make about your biggest life goals. Every single day, you make approximately 35,000 decisions. Most seem insignificant. What to eat for breakfast, whether to take the stairs or the elevator, whether to make that extra sales call or call it a day. But here's the secret successful people understand. There are no small decisions. Each choice you make is either moving you toward your goals or away from them. I worked with a man who transformed his entire life by changing one decision. He decided to wake up 30 minutes earlier each day to read, just 30 minutes. That single decision compounded over a year meant he read 24 books instead of 0. Those books gave him ideas that doubled his business revenue. The extra revenue allowed him to hire more staff, which gave him time to start a second business, all from one seemingly small decision. Here's the decision-making framework that will transform your life. Before every decision, ask yourself 3 questions. First, does this move me closer to my goals or further away? Second, what does the person I want to become do in this situation? And third, if everyone in the world made this same decision, what would the world look like? These questions cut through confusion and eliminate weakness from your decision-making process. When you are tempted to skip your workout, ask what the person you want to become would do. When you're considering taking the easy way out on a project, ask if that moves you closer to or further from your goals. This framework makes difficult decisions simple and simple decisions powerful. Where the real magic happens, momentum. Every time you make a decision that aligns with your goals, you create positive momentum. It becomes easier to make the next right decision and the next and the next. I have watched people transform their lives, not through one massive change, but through a series of consistently correct decisions. A freight train, when it's standing still, it takes massive energy to start moving. But once it's moving, it becomes almost unstoppable. Your decisions work the same way. The first few right choices are the hardest. But once you build momentum, success becomes almost automatic. I remember coaching someone who was stuck in a cycle of procrastination. We started with one decision: to complete his most important task first thing every morning. Just that one decision. Within weeks, this single change created a ripple effect. He started going to bed earlier to wake up fresh. He started planning his days better. He started saying no to distractions. One decision created a chain reaction that completely transformed his productivity. Your next decision is coming up right now. Maybe it's what you will do immediately after hearing these words. Maybe it's how you will respond to the next challenge you face. Remember, this decision is not isolated. It's part of a pattern that will either strengthen or weaken your resolve. It's either building momentum toward success or toward mediocrity. The power to transform your life doesn't lie in some distant future moment. It lies in the decision you are about to make right now. And now, each decision is a brick in the foundation of your future success. Everything we've discussed, the nature of weakness, your unlimited potential, the 7 pillars of mental strength, conquering fear, and the power of decisions, it all comes down to this moment. Right now, you are going to create your personal blueprint for excellence, your roadmap to becoming unstoppable. What you're going to do the moment you finish reading these words, you are going to take out a piece of paper and write down one action, just one, that you have been putting off out of weakness or fear. Maybe it's making that important phone call. Maybe it's signing up for that course. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation. Whatever it is, you are going to do it within the next 24 hours. No excuses, no delays. I have seen lives transformed through this simple principle of immediate action. One person I worked with had been dreaming of starting a podcast for 2 years. His immediate action was to record his first episode. Not perfect, not polished, just done. Today, his podcast reaches millions. He often tells me that if he hadn't taken that first imperfect action, he'd still be dreaming instead of doing. Now, for your 30-day challenge, for the next 30 days, you are going to focus on one specific area of your life where weakness has been holding you back. You are going to attack it with everything we have discussed. Every single day, you are going to take one action that strengthens this area. If it's your health, you will exercise for at least 20 minutes every day, no exceptions. If it's your business, you will make 5 sales calls every day, no matter what. If it's your relationships, you will have one meaningful conversation every day, regardless of how you feel. This 30-day challenge works because it combines everything we have covered: the 7 pillars of mental strength, fear elimination, and the power of daily decisions. I worked with someone who chose public speaking as their challenge area. For 30 days, they committed to speaking up at least once in every meeting they attended. By day 30, they weren't just speaking up, they were leading meetings. The transformation wasn't just in their speaking ability. It was in their entire self-image. But here's where most people go wrong with long-term vision creation. They think too small. Your vision needs to be so big it scares you a little. Take out another piece of paper. Write down where you want to be in 3 years. Now multiply everything by 10. If you wrote down making $100,000, make it $1 million. If you wrote down helping 100 people, make it 1,000. If you wrote down losing 10 pounds, make it a complete physical transformation. This 10x vision serves 2 purposes. First, it breaks you out of incremental thinking. Second, it forces you to completely redesign your approach. You can't achieve 10x results with Onyx thinking. I have watched people transform their entire lives because they dared to think bigger than they ever had before. Now break this vision down into quarterly milestones. What needs to happen in the next 90 days to keep you on track? Break those 90-day goals into monthly targets. Break those monthly targets into weekly actions. Break those weekly actions into daily habits. This creates a direct line between your daily actions and your biggest dreams. Remember that executive who was afraid to start her own company. Her immediate action was to register her business name. Her 30-day challenge was to spend 1 hour every morning working on her business plan. Her 3-year vision was to build $1 million company. Today, just 18 months later, she's already passed that goal and had to create a new, bigger vision. Your action plan is not just a set of goals. It's a declaration of war against weakness. Every immediate action you take every day of your 30-day challenge, you complete every step toward your long-term vision. These are battles you are winning against the weakness that's held you back for too long. Look around you right now. Look at the people sitting next to you, in front of you, behind you. Every single person in this room has felt the grip of weakness. Every single person has heard those voices of doubt. Every single person has faced those moments of fear. But you are here because you have made a decision that this is where it ends. Today is not just another day in your life. Today is the day you declare that weakness stops winning. Today is the day you stop being a prisoner of your doubts and start being the architect of your destiny. Today is the day you look weakness in the eye and say, you don't control me anymore. I want you to stand up right now. Stand up, feel the energy in your body. Feel the power coursing through your veins. This is what strength feels like. This is what it feels like to be fully alive, fully committed, fully engaged in your own destiny. Right now, I want you to make 3 commitments. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I commit to taking immediate action on my goals, no matter how small the first step might be. I commit to completing my 30-day challenge, no matter what obstacles arise. I commit to pursuing my 10x vision, no matter how impossible it might seem right now. Your voice just joined thousands of others who have stood where you were standing, who have made these same commitments, who have gone on to transform their lives in ways they never thought possible. That single mother who built an empire, that executive who found her freedom, that young man who defied all limitations, they all started exactly where you are right now, with a decision, with a commitment, with a refusal to let weakness win. Remember this moment. Remember how it feels to stand here, surrounded by others who share your commitment to excellence. Remember that weakness is not your destiny. It's just been your habit. And starting right now, you are creating new habits, new patterns, new possibilities. When you walk out of here today, you are not walking out the same person who walked in. That person let weakness win. That person listened to doubt. That person waited for the perfect moment. The person walking out. The new you takes action, embraces challenges, and creates their own perfect moments. Ladies and gentlemen, successful individuals, future champions. Let me ask you a powerful question that could change your life forever. Are you waiting for success to knock on your door, or are you building the door yourself? Take a moment. Really think about that question. Because in all my years of studying human potential and achievement, I've discovered that this single question separates the extraordinary from the ordinary, the achievers from the dreamers, the leaders from the followers. Most people are sitting in their comfort zones, waiting for the perfect opportunity to appear. They're like passengers at a bus stop, hoping their success bus will arrive right on schedule. But here's the life-changing truth I want to share with you today. The most successful people in the world aren't waiting at the bus stop. They're building their own vehicles to success. I want you to imagine something with me. Picture yourself standing in front of 2 doors. Behind one door lies everything you've ever dreamed of, be it success, wealth, happiness, fulfillment. Behind the other door is the comfort of waiting, the false security of someday. Which doctor would you choose? Here's the catch. The first door isn't actually a door yet. You have to build it yourself. This isn't just motivational talk. This is a fundamental principle that has transformed thousands of lives. I've worked with CEOs, entrepreneurs, and individuals from all walks of life, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, the opportunity you're waiting for is waiting for you to create it. Is no such thing as perfect timing. The perfect moment you're waiting for. It's an illusion that's costing you your dreams, your potential, and your future. I've heard every excuse imaginable. I will start when the economy improves. I will begin once my kids are older. I'm waiting for the right moment. These aren't just excuses. They're comfortable lies we tell ourselves to justify inaction, and they're destroying your chances of success. Let me share a powerful story with you. In 2008, during the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, while others were paralyzed by fear, some of today's most successful companies were born. Airbnb, Uber, WhatsApp, all started during what most would consider the worst possible time. Why did they succeed? Because their founders understood a crucial truth. Timing isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. The cost of waiting is far greater than most people realize. Let me break this down for you mathematically. If you wait just 1 year to start your business, assuming a modest 15% annual growth rate, you're not just losing 1 year. You're losing the compound effect of that year, multiplied across your entire career. That single year of waiting could cost you millions in potential earnings. But the real cost isn't just financial. Every day you wait. Your competitors are getting stronger. The market is evolving. Opportunities are being seized by others who understand that imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Your brain is designed to protect you from danger, from failure, from embarrassment. It's doing its job perfectly when it tells you to wait. But here's the paradox. The very thing your brain thinks is protecting you is actually harming you. Every time you postpone action, you're reinforcing a neural pathway of avoidance. You're literally training your brain to be afraid of opportunity. The most successful people in history didn't wait for perfect conditions. Thomas Edison didn't wait for the perfect time to invent the light bulb. He started with what he had where he was. Walt Disney didn't wait for the perfect economy to build his dream. He started during the Great Depression. These weren't acts of reckless abandon. They were calculated decisions to create opportunity rather than wait for it. The truth is there will always be reasons to wait. The market will always be uncertain. The conditions will never be perfect, but success doesn't require perfect conditions. It requires perfect commitment. What nobody tells you about timing, the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Every moment you spend waiting for the perfect time is a moment someone else is using to get ahead, to build momentum, to create their future. What's the real reason you're waiting? Is it truly about timing, or is it about fear? Is it about external conditions or internal hesitation? Because once you understand that timing is an excuse, not a reason, you can begin to take control of your destiny. Remember this. In 10 years from now, you'll wish you had started today. The only question is, will you be looking back with regret or looking back with pride at the empire you built because you decided to stop waiting and start creating? Most people wouldn't recognize a true opportunity if it walked up and introduced itself. Why? Because they're looking for opportunity wearing a tuxedo, carrying a briefcase full of guarantees. But that's not how real opportunity presents itself. Real opportunity often comes dressed in overalls, looking like hard work. It shows up as problems that need solving, as gaps in the market that nobody else has noticed, as small openings that could lead to breakthrough moments. The greatest opportunities of our time didn't announce themselves with fanfare. They whispered to those who were paying attention. What most people miss, every complaint is an opportunity. Every frustration in the marketplace is an opportunity. Every time you hear someone say, I wish there was a way to, that's opportunity knocking. But most people are too busy complaining about the problem to see the opportunity within it. Let me tell you why people miss opportunities. They're waiting for permission. They're waiting for validation. They're waiting for someone to hand them a detailed roadmap to success. But successful people, true opportunity creators, understand that opportunities aren't found, they're forged. They're not discovered, they're developed. The opportunity creation mindset is different. Instead of asking, is this a good opportunity? Successful people ask, how can I make this into a great opportunity? Instead of wondering if the timing is right, they make the timing right. They understand that opportunity is like clay. It's moldable, shapeable, creatable. I've studied the patterns of highly successful individuals for decades, and I've noticed something fascinating. They all share a unique way of seeing the world. They have what I call opportunity eyes. They see possibilities where others see problems. They see stepping stones where others see stumbling blocks. What these successful individuals do differently. First, they're constantly scanning their environment for unmet needs. They listen differently, not just to what people say, but to what people mean, what they wish for, what they complain about. Second, they understand that small opportunities lead to big ones. They don't wait for the $1 million idea. They take the $1,000 idea and scale it through consistent execution. Third, they maintain what I call productive paranoia. They know that opportunities have expiration dates. They act with urgency, understanding that in today's fast-moving world, hesitation is the graveyard of opportunity. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, they understand that opportunity isn't just about seeing. It's about seizing. They've developed the habit of taking immediate action when they spot potential. Successful people don't just respond to opportunity. They create it. They don't just recognize patterns. They establish new ones. They don't just seize the day. They seize the moment, every moment, understanding that each second contains the seed of unlimited potential. The marketplace pays for value, and your skills are your value currency. Every single day, you're either growing or you're falling behind. There is no standing still. The most successful opportunity creators understand that learning isn't just a part of life. It's a way of life. What separates the extraordinary from the ordinary? They invest in their personal growth like others invest in the stock market. They read voraciously, they attend seminars, they seek mentorship, they practice deliberately. They understand that today's skills are tomorrow's opportunities. The skills you have today are preparing you for opportunities you can't even imagine yet. Every new skill you develop doubles your chances of luck finding you. When you combine skills in unique ways, you create opportunities that others can't even see. Your network isn't just your net worth, it's your opportunity worth. The quality of your opportunities will directly mirror the quality of your relationships. But here's what most people get wrong about network. They focus on taking instead of giving. True network building starts with this question. How can I add value to others? When you become known as a value creator, opportunities don't just come to you, they chase you. Your network should be like a garden. You tend daily, not a field you visit only when you need something. Every fortune in history was made by someone who got really good at identifying and solving problems. The bigger the problem you can solve, the bigger the opportunity you can create. But here's the key. Don't just look for obvious problems. Look for hidden ones. Train yourself to spot friction points, inefficiencies, and pain points in every situation. The richest opportunities often lie in the problems people have gotten so used to, they don't even recognize them as problems anymore. Once you've identified a problem, become obsessed with creating solutions. But not just any solutions, elegant solutions. Solutions that are simpler, faster, cheaper, or more effective than what exists. The market doesn't reward problem spotters, it rewards problem solvers. A powerful technique. Whenever you encounter a problem, ask yourself, how can I solve this in a way that creates value for others? The answer to that question is often worth millions. Ideas without action are like unplanted seeds. They hold potential but create no value. The most successful opportunity creators have developed a bias for action. They don't just plan, they launch. They don't just consider, they commit. Develop the habit of immediate action. When you spot an opportunity, take at least one concrete step toward it within 24 hours. This creates momentum, and momentum is the fuel of opportunity creation. Now, being action-oriented doesn't mean being reckless. Smart opportunity creators understand that risk isn't something to avoid, something to manage. They use what I call the intelligent risk formula, maximum upside potential with controlled downside exposure. You start small, test quickly, and scale what works. They never risk what they can't afford to lose, but they're willing to risk something. Remember, the biggest risk in life is never taking any risks at all. What separates the winners from the quitters, every significant opportunity comes wrapped in temporary failure. The most successful opportunity creators aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never quit. They understand that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a component of success. They've learned to fail forward, to extract lessons from every setback, to use rejection as fuel for their fire. Every single person who's achieved extraordinary success has mastered these principles. They may not have called them by these names, but they lived them, they breathed them, they became them. And that's exactly what I'm challenging you to do today. Don't just learn these principles, live them. Don't just understand them, apply them. Because when you do, you'll stop waiting for opportunity and start creating it with mathematical certainty. Now, let me share with you what I call the opportunity action formula, a systematic approach that turns opportunity creation from a mystery into a science. This isn't theory. This is a proven step-by-step process that has created countless success stories. Spend the first 30 minutes of every day scanning your environment for possibilities. Read industry news, study market trends, listen to customer complaints. Make this your non-negotiable morning ritual. Take the next 15 minutes to write down 3 specific actions you can take today to create or advance an opportunity. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Invest 1 hour daily in developing the skills that will make you opportunity ready. Remember, luck favors the prepared mind. Make 5 meaningful connections every single day. Send that email, make that call, reach out to that potential mentor. Small connections compound into powerful networks. And each day with a 10-minute assessment. What worked? What didn't? Where are the hidden opportunities in today's challenges? Execute your 3 planned actions without exception. No excuses, no procrastination. Imperfect action beats perfect planning every single time. Identify one thing you can do better tomorrow. Success leaves clues. Learn from both victories and setbacks. Share your progress with your accountability partner or mastermind group. The power of shared commitment is undeniable. Measure your results weekly. Numbers tell stories. Listen to what they're saying. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a year. This formula works because it harnesses the power of compound interest in action. If you make just 5 meaningful connections a day, that's 1825 connections in a year. If you take 3 opportunity creating actions daily, that's 1095 actions annually. The math of massive action is undeniable. What happens when you follow this formula consistently? The first week, you might see small results. The first month, you'll notice patterns emerging. By month 3, you'll have momentum. By month 6, opportunities will start finding you. But the key to building unstoppable momentum, never miss twice. You might miss a day, we're human, but never ever miss 2 days in a row. This is how habits become destiny. Your daily routine should become as automatic as breathing. Wake up at 5 a.m., spend the first hour in personal development. Track your progress, celebrate small wins. Repeat. Success is not about intensity. It's about consistency. It's not about making one perfect decision. It's about making 1,000 small, good decisions. Every single day, you're either building momentum or losing it. There is no standing still. The beauty of this formula is its simplicity. You don't need special talents. You don't need extraordinary resources. You just need unwavering commitment to consistent action. That's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Start implementing this formula today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because every day you wait is a day of compound interest lost forever. The invisible force that stops most people from creating opportunities, fear. Not just any fear, but the kind that whispers, what if you fail? Right? When you're about to take that crucial step forward. Something powerful, I've learned fear isn't your enemy. It's simply your body's way of telling you you're on the verge of growth. The most successful people aren't fearless. They've simply learned to reframe their fear into fuel. Understanding your fear is the first step to mastering it. Your brain is designed with a negativity bias. It's programmed to protect you from danger. But here's the fascinating truth. Your brain can't tell the difference between physical danger and the risk of embarrassment or failure. It treats them both the same way. So when you feel that knot in your stomach before taking action, understand this. That's not your intuition telling you to stop. That's your potential asking you to proceed. Let me give you 3 practical techniques to beat fear instantly. First, use what I call the 5-4-3, 2-1 launch technique. The moment you feel fear creeping in, count backward from 5, and when you hit 1, take immediate physical action. This short circuits your brain's fear response because it shifts you from thinking to doing. Second, practice the fear-setting protocol. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, ask yourself, what's the absolute worst that could happen? Then create a simple plan to handle that worst-case scenario. You'll find that most fears dissolve under the light of logical analysis. Third, implement the daily courage workout. Just like building physical muscles, courage grows through progressive overload. Start each day by doing something that slightly scares you. Make that call you've been avoiding. Share that idea you've been holding back. Each small act of courage builds your psychological strength. You can actually transform anxiety into excitement. They share the same physiological response. Rapid heartbeat, butterflies in stomach, heightened awareness. The only difference is how you label it in your mind. Try this experiment. The next time you feel anxious about an opportunity, don't try to calm down. Instead, say out loud, I'm excited. Your brain will believe what you tell it. This isn't positive thinking. It's strategic emotional leverage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else is more important than fear. Every time you take action despite fear, you're building what I call your courage account. And just like a financial account, small, regular deposits lead to compound growth. The most successful opportunity creators aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who've learned to dance with fear rather than run from it. They understand that fear is often a compass pointing toward growth. Starting today, make fear your ally. When you feel it, celebrate it. It's a signal that you're pushing your boundaries, that you're alive, that you're growing, because the size of your success will be determined by the size of your courage to create opportunities despite your fears. Now, let me share with you the framework that will accelerate your journey from opportunity creation to massive success. This is the exact system used by the highest achievers to turn opportunities into tangible results. Start with goal setting, but not the way most people do it. Most people set goals like they're writing a wish list, but winners set goals like they're writing orders to their future self. Here's the difference. You don't just write down what you want. You write down what you commit to becoming. Use what I call the success triangle method for goal setting. First point, clarity. Be so specific that a stranger could understand exactly what you're aiming for. Second point, timeline. Set deadlines that make you slightly uncomfortable. Third point, accountability. Create consequences for both action and inaction. You don't manage time, you manage activities. Time flows regardless of what you do. The key is managing your high-value activities. Implementation, the power of principle. Identify the 3 activities that create the most opportunity in your life. Give them the best hours of your day. For most people, that's the first 3 hours after waking. Guard these hours like they're worth millions, because they are. Decision-making excellence is where opportunities are either seized or squandered. Use the 3-question filter for every significant decision. Own time. Does this align with my ultimate vision? 2, is this the highest and best use of my resources right now? 3, if I had to do this for the next 5 years, would I be proud of the direction? When it comes to resource optimization, remember this. Resources flow to those who deploy them most effectively. Most people try to gather more resources. Winners focus on maximizing what they already have. Implement the resource multiplication protocol. Make inventory of your current resources, skills, relationships, time, money, energy. How can I make each resource work twice as hard? Look for synergistic combinations of resources. Eliminate resource drains that don't contribute to your goals. A powerful secret about success accelerating. It's not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things in the right order. Use the impact hierarchy. Level 1, foundation activities, health, learning, relationships. Level 2, creation activities, building, designing, developing. Level 3, growth activities is scaling, optimizing, maximizing. Level 4 is legacy activities, teaching, systematizing, multiplying. Your daily schedule should reflect this hierarchy. Most people spend their time on level 1 and 2 activities. Winners design systems that allow them to focus on level 3 and 4 activities. Remember this, speed of implementation is the single biggest predictor of success. The time between having an idea and taking action should be measured in hours, not days or weeks. Create what I call your success acceleration dashboard. Track these 4 metrics daily. 1, high-value activities completed. 2, decisions made and implemented. 3, resources optimized or multiplied. 4, progress toward primary goals. This isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter with unstoppable momentum. When you combine strategic goal setting, precise time management, excellent decision-making, and optimal resource deployment, you create an acceleration effect that compounds your results exponentially. The difference between average results and extraordinary achievements isn't knowledge. It's implementation speed combined with strategic patience. Move fast on opportunities, but be patient with results. This is the paradox of success acceleration. Winners don't rely on motivation. They build systems that make success inevitable. Your environment is constantly triggering behaviors, either ones that serve you or ones that sabotage you. The key is to design triggers that automatically launch you into opportunity-creating actions. How to create what I call success triggers. Position your goals card where you'll see it first thing in the morning. Place your exercise clothes next to your bed. Set your phone's home page to your opportunity tracker. These aren't just organizational tips. They're strategic success triggers that bypass your conscious resistance. Your environment isn't just where you live. It's what's living inside you. Design your environment to make opportunity creation the path of least resistance. Clear your desk except for your most important project. Set up your phone to block distracting apps during your power hours. Create a dedicated space for opportunity creation. Your environment will either support your success or sabotage it. There is no neutral ground. Now build your accountability structure. Most people think accountability is about having someone check on them, but true accountability is about becoming someone who simply doesn't miss. Create what I call the triangle of accountability. Corner 1, self-accountability, daily success scorecards. Corner 2, peer accountability, weekly mastermind meetings. Corner 3, public accountability. You write shared goals and deadlines. Implement a progress tracking system that makes success visible and failure impossible to ignore. Use what I call the success metrics dashboard. Daily actions completed, opportunities identified, connections made, progress toward major goals, lessons learned. Track these metrics religiously. What gets measured gets improved. What gets measured and reported gets improved exponentially. Create weekly review rituals. Every Sunday evening, spend 30 minutes analyzing your dashboard. Ask yourself, what worked this week? What needs adjustment? What opportunities did I miss? What opportunities can I create next week? Your system should be like a successful business. It should run whether you feel like it or not. Build what I call success insurance. Backup plans for your backup plans. If you can't make your morning workout, have a lunch hour routine ready. If your primary networking event falls through, have 3 alternatives lined up. Systems trump goals. Goals are about the destination. Systems are about the journey. When you build the right system, achieving your goals becomes a natural byproduct rather than a constant struggle. Your opportunity system should feel like a well-oiled machine, automatic, reliable, and consistently producing results. Because once you have a system, success isn't about motivation anymore. It's about methodology. Life is a grand adventure filled with endless possibilities and opportunities. But too often we find ourselves standing in our own way, placing bets against our own success. Imagine for a moment that you are at a racetrack. You've got your favorite horse, the one you believe in with all your heart. But instead of putting your money on that horse, you bet against it. Sounds crazy, right? Yeah, that's exactly what many of us do in our daily lives. We bet against ourselves time and time again. So why do we do this? Why do we become our own worst enemies? The answer lies in our minds and the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world around us. These beliefs, often formed in childhood or through negative experiences, can become self-fulfilling prophecies if we let them. Just as we've learned these limiting beliefs, we can unlearn them. We can reprogram our minds for success, and that's what we are going to talk about today. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Fear is the #1 reason why people bet against themselves. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. These fears can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in our comfort zones. Fear is often just false evidence appearing real. It's our imagination running wild, conjuring up worst-case scenarios that rarely, if ever, come to pass. The antidote to fear is action. When we take action, we prove to ourselves that our fears are unfounded, we build confidence, and with each step forward, we become stronger and more resilient. Let me tell you about John, a software engineer I once coached. John had always dreamed of starting his own tech company, but for years he bet against himself. He told himself he wasn't smart enough, that the market was too competitive, that he did not have the right connections. But these were all just excuses, ways of avoiding the real issue, his fear of failure. One day, John decided to stop betting against himself. He started small, working on his idea in the evenings after his day job. He networked, he learned, he pushed himself out of his comfort zone. And you know what? Within 2 years, John's company was valued at over $10 million, all because he decided to bet on himself instead of against himself. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Betting on yourself requires courage, persistence, and a willingness to face your fears head on. but the rewards are immeasurable. When you bet on yourself, you open up a world of possibilities. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You become unstoppable. So how do we make this shift? How do we stop betting against ourselves and start betting on our success? It starts with awareness. We need to become aware of the negative self-talk, the limiting beliefs that are holding us back. Once we are aware of them, we can challenge them. The next time you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, stop and ask yourself, is this really true? Where is the evidence? More often than not, you will find that these thoughts are baseless, nothing more than old programming that no longer serves you. Replace these negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Instead of I can't, say I can and I will. Instead of I'm not good enough, say I am more than capable. It might feel awkward at first, even a bit silly, but stick with it. Your subconscious mind is listening, and over time, these new empowering beliefs will take root. But positive thinking alone is not enough. We need to back it up with action. Set goals for yourself, both short-term and long-term. Write them down, make them specific, and give them deadlines. Then break these goals down into manageable steps. Remember, every great achievement starts with a single step. Many of us bet against ourselves because we are afraid of failing. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed, probably more times than you can imagine. The difference is they did not let those failures define them. They learned from them, they grew, and they kept moving forward. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset we need to adopt. Every setback is a learning opportunity, a chance to grow and improve. So embrace failure. See it for what it is. Feedback. If something does not work out the way you planned, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? This shift in perspective can turn every experience, good or bad, into a stepping stone towards your goals. Success rarely happens overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. I once worked with a woman named Sarah who dreamed of becoming a best-selling author. She had a great idea for a novel, but for years, she bet against herself. She told herself she wasn't a good enough writer, that no one would want to read her book. But one day, Sarah decided to stop betting against herself. She committed to writing 500 words every day, no matter what. Some days those 500 words flowed easily. Other days, it was a struggle to write even a single sentence. But Sarah persisted. She showed up at her desk every day, whether she felt inspired or not. And you know what? After a year of this consistent effort, Sarah had a completed manuscript. 6 months later, she had a publishing deal. Today, her book has sold over 1 million copies worldwide. That's the power of persistence. That's what happens when you stop betting against yourself and start betting on your dreams. But persistence does not mean blindly pushing forward without direction. It means being adaptable, being willing to learn and grow. The path to success is rarely a straight line. There will be twists and turns, unexpected obstacles and detours. The key is to stay focused on your end goal while remaining flexible in your approach. This ports us to another crucial point, and the importance of continuous learning. The world is changing at an unprecedented rate. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. To stay ahead, we need to be lifelong learners. Read books, attend seminars, take online courses. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and challenge you to grow. Remember, your income, your success, your fulfillment in life will rarely exceed your personal development. Invest in yourself, in your skills, in your knowledge. It's the best investment you can make. Let's address another reason why people often bet against themselves: comparison. In today's hyper-connected world, it's all too easy to fall into the comparison trap. We see the highlight reels of other people's lives on social media and think we are falling behind. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you moving closer to your goals? That's what matters. Your journey is unique. Your path is your own. Don't waste your energy comparing yourself to others. Channel that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Let me share a personal story. Early in my career, I found myself constantly comparing my progress to that of my peers. I'd see someone land a big client or get a promotion, and I'd feel like I was falling behind. I was betting against myself, telling myself I wasn't good enough, that I'd never catch up. But then I had a realization all that time and energy I was spending worrying about other people's success was taking away from my own growth. I decided to shift my focus. Instead of worrying about what others were doing, I concentrated on my own development. I set clear goals for myself and worked tirelessly towards them. And you know what? Once I stopped betting against myself and started focusing on my own journey, my career took off. I landed bigger clients, I got better results, and most importantly, I felt more fulfilled. Not because I was doing better than others, but because I was doing better than my previous self. The power of focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. When you're constantly betting against yourself, you are focusing on what could go wrong, on all the reasons why you might fail. And guess what? Your brain starts looking for evidence to support these beliefs. But when you bet on yourself, when you focus on your strengths, on your potential, on all the reasons why you can succeed, your brain starts looking for opportunities to make that success a reality. It's like tuning a radio. When you tune to the frequency of success, you start picking up more and more success signals. So how do we maintain this positive focus, especially when things get tough? One powerful tool is visualization. Athletes have been using this technique for decades to improve their performance, and it can work just as well in business and in life. Take a few minutes each day to visualize yourself achieving your goals. See it in vivid detail. How does it feel? What does it look like? Engage all your senses in this visualization. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more your subconscious will work to make it a reality. But visualization alone is not enough. We need to combine it with affirmations, positive statements that reinforce our belief in ourselves. Start your day by looking in the mirror and saying, I believe in myself. I am capable of achieving great things. I am worthy of success. It might feel uncomfortable at first. You might not believe the words you're saying. But remember, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. The more you repeat these positive affirmations, the more they'll become your reality. Jim Rohn famously said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Take a moment to think about that. Are the people around you lifting you up or pulling you down? Are they betting on you or against you? If you find that your current environment is not supporting your growth, it might be time to make some changes. Seek out people who inspire you, who challenge you to be better. Join mastermind groups, attend networking events, find mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Remember, success leaves clues. If you want to stop betting against yourself and start achieving your goals, look at people who have already done what you want to do. Study their habits, their mindset, their strategies, model their success. But be careful not to fall into the trap of thinking you need to do everything alone. Successful people know the power of collaboration. They surround themselves with people who complement their skills, who can help them overcome their weaknesses. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to mentors, join support groups, hire coaches. Remember, even the most successful people in the world have teams supporting them. Betting on yourself does not mean doing everything by yourself. It means believing in yourself enough to invest in the support you need to succeed. Now, let's address another common reason why people bet against themselves. Past failures. Maybe you have tried and failed before. Maybe you have been hurt or disappointed. It's easy to let these past experiences color your view of the future. Your past does not define your future. Just because something did not work out before does not mean it won't work out now. You're not the same person you were yesterday, let alone last year or 5 years ago. You have grown, you have learned, you have evolved. Every successful person has a story of past failures. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Stephen King's first novel was rejected 30 times. But these people did not let their past failures define them. They used them as fuel, as motivation to prove the doubters wrong, including the doubter within themselves. So if you have failed before, congratulations. You are in good company. Now, what are you going to do with that experience? Are you going to let it hold you back, or are you going to use it as a stepping stone to future success? Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every failure brings with it valuable lessons. The key is to extract those lessons and use them to fuel your future attempts. Our lives are essentially the sum of our habits. The small decisions we make day in and day out shape our lives far more than the big dramatic moments. If you find yourself constantly betting against yourself, it's likely because you have developed habits of self-doubt and negativity. The good news is habits can be changed. It takes time and effort, but with consistency, you can rewire your brain for success. Start by identifying one negative habit you want to change. Maybe it's the habit of hitting the snooze button instead of getting up early to work on your goals. Maybe it's the habit of scrolling through social media instead of reading a book or learning a new skill. Once you've identified the habit, replace it with a positive one. If you are used to hitting snooze, put your alarm clock across the room so you have to get up to turn it off. If you are prone to wasting time on social media, delete the apps from your phone and replace that time with something productive. Remember, it takes about 21 days to form a new habit. Stick with it, even when it's hard. The discomfort you feel is just your brain rewiring itself. Embrace that discomfort. It's the feeling of growth. As you develop these new positive habits, you will find yourself naturally betting on yourself more often. Success will start to feel inevitable rather than impossible. This addresses a crucial point, the importance of self-care. When we are working towards our goals, it's easy to fall into the trap of hustling to 24. We think that if we are not working every waking moment, we are falling behind. Burnout is real, and it's one of the biggest reasons why people end up betting against themselves. When we are exhausted, stressed, and overwhelmed, our natural inclination is to give up, to retreat to our comfort zones. That's why self-care is not selfish. It's essential. Make sure you are getting enough sleep, eating well, and exercising regularly. Take time for activities that recharge you, whether that's reading, meditating, spending time in nature, or enjoying hobbies. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of yourself, you are ensuring that you have the energy and resilience to keep betting on yourself, even when times get tough. When we are constantly betting against ourselves, it's easy to fall into a negative mindset. We focus on what's going wrong, on what we lack, on all the reasons why we can't succeed. But gratitude has the power to shift this perspective. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we start to see the abundance in our lives rather than the scarcity. We recognize the resources we have at our disposal, the support systems around us, the progress we've already made. Start each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a comfortable bed, or a kind word from a friend. This simple practice can dramatically shift your mindset, making it easier to bet on yourself and your potential. The importance of taking action. All the positive thinking, visualization, and self-belief in the world won't make a difference if you don't take action. Success is not about what you know or even who you know. It's about what you do with what you know. It's about the actions you take day in and day out to move closer to your goals. Starting today, take one action every day that moves you closer to your goals. It does not have to be a big action. Small steps, taken consistently, lead to big results over time. Maybe it's making that phone call you have been putting off. Maybe it's writing the first paragraph of that book you have been dreaming about. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation you have been avoiding. Whatever it is, do it. Take action. Remember, the world does not reward perfection. It rewards action. The person who takes imperfect action will always outperform the person who has perfect plans but never acts on them. You have greatness within you. You have talents and abilities that the world needs. Don't rob the world of your gifts by betting against yourself. Believe in yourself. Invest in yourself. Take action. The biggest bet you can ever make is on yourself. And when you do, when you fully commit to your own success, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So I ask you, are you ready to stop betting against yourself? Are you ready to unleash your full potential? Are you ready to create the life you have always dreamed of? The time is now. The opportunity is here. The choice is yours. Will you continue to play small, to doubt yourself, to let fear hold you back? Or will you step up, embrace your potential, and bet on yourself with everything you have got? Your future self is watching, waiting to see what you will do in this moment. Will you disappoint them, or will you make them proud? Every great achievement in history started with a single decision, the decision to believe, to persist, to overcome. You have that same power within you right now, the power to reshape your destiny, to rewrite your story, to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. But it all starts with you. Take that step today. Your future self will thank you for it. Imagine waking up a year from now, looking back on this moment and realizing it was the turning point in your life, the moment you decide to stop doubting yourself and start believing in your own potential. That decision, that single choice to bet on yourself, can set in motion a chain of events that will transform your life in ways you can't even imagine right now. Every great success story starts with that decision. Every person who has ever achieved greatness had to first overcome their own self-doubt, their own fears, their own limiting beliefs. They had to make the conscious choice to bet on themselves, to believe in their own potential, even when no one else did. And you have that same power within you right now. You have the power to make that choice, to take that first step towards the life you have always dreamed of. But here's the thing, that choice is not a one-time decision. It's a commitment you have to make every single day. It's choosing to get up early to work on your goals, even when you're tired. It's choosing to keep going, even when you face setbacks and disappointments. And it's choosing to learn and grow, even when it's uncomfortable. Every day, you will be faced with choices. Will you take the easy path, the comfortable path, the path of least resistance? Or will you choose the path of growth, the path of challenge, the path that leads to your dreams? The choice is yours, and it's a choice you will have to make over and over again. Each time you choose to bet on yourself, it gets a little bit easier. Each time you push through your fears and doubts, you grow a little bit stronger. Each time you take action towards your goals, you build a little more momentum. It's like working out a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you become. And before you know it, betting on yourself becomes second nature. You will start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You will start to view challenges as chances to grow rather than reasons to give up. You will start to believe in yourself so deeply that nothing can shake your confidence. But it all starts with that first step. That first decision to bet on yourself. And that decision has to come from within. No one else can make it for you. No one else can believe in you enough to overcome your own self-doubt. That has to come from you. So ask yourself, what's holding you back? What fears, what doubts, what limiting beliefs are keeping you from betting on yourself? Are you afraid of failure? Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every successful person has failed, probably more times than you can imagine. The difference is they did not let those failures define them. They learned from them, they grew from them, and they kept moving forward. Are you afraid of what others might think? The opinions of others don't define you. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. And when you start betting on yourself, when you start pursuing your dreams with everything you have got, you will be amazed at how many people will be inspired by your courage and determination. Are you afraid that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough? Success is not about being the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about continuous growth and improvement. And the only way to improve is to start where you are with what you have. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So whatever it is that's holding you back, whatever reason you've been using to bet against yourself, it's time to let it go. It's time to realize that you are capable of so much more than you have allowed yourself to believe. It's time to step into your power and embrace your potential. The world needs what you have to offer. Your unique talents, your unique perspective, your unique voice, the world needs it. And by betting against yourself, by playing small, by letting fear hold you back, you are not just doing a disservice to yourself. You are doing a disservice to the world. You are depriving the world of your gifts, of your contribution, of the positive impact you could make. So I challenge you, starting today, make a commitment to yourself. A commitment to bet on yourself every single day. A commitment to take action towards your goals, no matter how small that action might be. A commitment to believe in yourself even when it feels impossible. Because here's the thing, when you start betting on yourself, when you start truly believing in your own potential, the universe has a way of conspiring to help you. Opportunities start to appear. The right people come into your life at the right time. Things that once seemed impossible start to become reality. But it all starts with you. It all starts with that decision to bet on yourself. So are you ready? Are you ready to stop playing small and start stepping into your greatness? Are you ready to stop betting against yourself and start betting on your own incredible potential? The time is now. The opportunity is here. The choice is yours. Your future self is waiting, watching to see what you will do in this moment. Will you disappoint them or will you make them proud? Remember, every great achievement in history started with a single decision, the decision to believe, to persist, to overcome. You have that same power within you right now, the power to reshape your destiny, to rewrite your story, to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. But it all starts with you. It starts with the choice to stop betting against yourself and start betting on your own incredible potential. So take that step today. Your future self will thank you. And not just your future self, but all the lives you will touch, all the people you will inspire, all the positive change you will create in the world. Because when you bet on yourself, when you unleash your full potential, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. You show them what's possible. You give them permission to dream bigger, to reach higher, to believe in themselves, and that ripple effect can change the world. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait for someone else to believe in you. The perfect moment is now. You are as ready as you will ever be. And the only person who needs to believe in you is you. Take that step today. Bet on yourself. And watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Your future self and the world will thank you for it.